Wow, do you hear that applause? All for you. This is such a great day. Hello and welcome to the 2021 Educator of the Year program. This is such an exciting occasion for all of us to be gathered, and it's a little different this year than it has been in the past couple of years, even though last year we were virtually as well. But normally we're all gathered together in one location to celebrate all of these great honorees, which we're going to celebrate today. However, I am proud to know that we are celebrating from all different states, all different living rooms across St. Louis, across the United States, to come together tonight for this wonderful virtual watch party and celebrate these dynamic educators that you're going to see today. I have been on pins and needles just waiting for this occasion for weeks. I could not wait for you all to see my new dress. I mean, for you all to know about all these dynamic educators that we're going to see today from all content areas, all grade levels, all making sure that there is excellent education happening in St. Louis Public Schools. So you are in for a night of treats, a night of great teaching that you're going to see, and just a night of joy as we celebrate these extraordinary educators right here in our own home, St. Louis Public Schools. Before we begin this virtual night of excellence, we will pause and hear from another extraordinary educator, our own superintendent, Dr. Kelvin Adams.
Good afternoon. First and foremost, I would like to take this time to thank all of our partners who have worked with us to make this event the kind of event that we can be proud of. That's Parson Blewett and the St. Louis Foundation and all of the other many partners who have provided dollars and support and items for teachers as they do the work that they do to save lives each and every day. I want to thank these teachers, or these persons that we're recognizing today, because they've done this work through a pandemic, through a once-in-a-lifetime event, as they've worked really hard to rescue kids and save their lives. The question really becomes, why become an educator? You become an educator because you really want to make a difference in kids' lives, such that you can have an impact on their lives for the rest of their lives. And so I just want to take a minute just to say thank you. Really appreciate all of the work you do every single day and how much you really care about our kids. And so good luck as you continue to do the work you're doing. And please take a minute to soak in the recognition that you're getting today. Thank you very much.
Without further ado, we are here for the part of the program that you are all gathered for, the presentation of the awards. In education, we often think about how we are poised to train the next generation. Well, this next category, this individual is not only poised to train the next generation, she's also teaching them the skills and values in which they will use to train their children, the generation after next. It is my proud privilege to introduce the winner, Ms. Martha Fenoy, as the Parent as Teacher, Parent Educator of the Year.
Just thinking back, to some of the things that we want to make sure that Zarel is up on too, because, just parenting around the development, his attachment with you, his, the discipline and everything, the health, his nutrition and all of that. All of those are very, very important things. So we just want to make sure that that's just something that you're continuously doing, because as he grows and develops, his needs are changing. So, you have to make sure that your needs are changing as well.
This next educator started her journey in education over a decade ago in 2011 as a classroom paraprofessional. 2 years later, she earned her teaching certificate and began her teaching career in 2013. I can only imagine what the next 10 years of this dynamic educator's life will be like, and I am proud to present the next winner, Ms. Kristen Murray from Malamphy Investigative Learning Center, and she is proudly the Early Childhood Educator of the Year.
My students are amazing as they are sponges for information. I am blown away by their abilities and excitement for learning each day. I'm able to share with their parents all of their progress through daily Class Dojo messages and photos of our activities. Students also receive individualized homework notes with areas they can be working on at home. I provide my students with quite a bit of choice in our classroom as well. They are able to choose materials they want to work with each day, as well as vote on books we read aloud, recess options, or even what content areas we will practice. As the year goes on, my students have shown incredible growth despite the obstacles of virtual learning.
I'm so excited to speak about Kristen Murray, Early Childhood Educator of the Year. Kristen is the kind of teacher that all children want to be in her class. She's enthusiastic, she's well organized, and she truly emits the love of learning for all kids that are in her class. When you visit, you see that they're engaged and they're happy and excited to be there. So congratulations, Miss Murray. We're very happy for you and very proud that you represent our school in this way.
I was so excited when I saw the intro into this next category's classroom. He had a huge sign that said, "Oh, the places we will go." And after watching him and interacting with him, I can only imagine all the places his students will go. Without further ado, Mr. Andrew Moore of Walbridge STEAM Academy is this year's Kindergarten Educator of the Year.
Warmed up, get them warmed up, turn your camera on so I can see you. Tony, you warmed up, Alana, you warmed up.
Can't start my camera because my telephone goes dead.
All right, Tori, then just stay off mute so I can hear you. Turn your microphones off. Let's get our fingers out. Let's start with 3. Everybody say lug.
Love.
Break it up. Good. Put it back together.
Love.
Good. Now say 4 sounds. Say plug.
Love.
Break it up. Good. Put them back together.
Love.
Good. Let's switch. Say slug.
Well, I think Mr. Moore is an outstanding teacher because he goes over and beyond the call of duties, not only for his students, but for every student in this building as well as the teachers. He makes sure that the students are well prepared for his lessons. He takes time out for each individual students, and he makes sure that they have the technology that they need. He will go to their homes. He has also dug deep into his pockets to make sure one of his students needed the iPad, and he purchased the iPad for that student. So that's a teacher that's well deserving of this award. Mr. Moore has a heart for teaching. It's really hard work, and he's showing in this hard work. Previously, I said that he wants to leave no child behind, and he has a genuine concern for all students, not only his, but for all students.
Miss Christina Sweeney, the Oak Hill Elementary School Elementary Math Educator of the Year. There were some dynamic things that we saw in Christina's video that was shared with us. One of the things that stood out to me was how she talked about closing the equity gap. And one of the things she did was solicit donations so that all of her students had access to resources. And she did this through Donors Choose. Well, Ms. Sweeney, the judges certainly chose you, and we can all very much see why. Again, congratulations on being this year's Elementary Math Educator of the Year.
In summer 2020, I was selected to work on the Standards-Based Grading Committee. In addition to creating an elementary science curriculum, I developed my understanding of standards-based learning, and my students are now learning right with me. Focusing on the standards gives purpose and direction to our learning. Students clearly understand what is expected of them and are regularly given feedback about their progress. Standards-based learning has also been the perfect addition to our weekly data team process. We meet as a grade level team with our instructional coach. We look at student work and exemplars. We analyze misconceptions and we plan for a reteach so that we can meet the students where we are and continue to move them towards standards mastery.
Miss Sweeney is hands down an awesome teacher. She is passionate, dynamic, and a committed educator who sets her students up for success. I enjoy observing her students in action with guided discourse. Just watching her students push each other's thinking says it all. Ms. Sweeney is so deserving of this honor to be SLPS's Elementary Mathematics Teacher of the Year.
I have to smile when I think about this next candidate. I almost feel like, in a small kind of way, that I watched her grow up a little bit. I first met this candidate when the district started their reading certification program, about 6 years ago, and she was one of the inaugural members to participate in that certification program. Through this time, I've got to watch her shy ways and how I grew more bold and more bold, it seemed like, with each class. And I've watched her mature. I've watched her perfect her skill in her craft. I've watched her become hungry as she's educating these little ones. I've watched her grow older. Now, I'm not quite sure how that works because I've watched her grow older, but I'm not quite sure that I've grown older in the process. But without further ado, I am proud to announce Miss Grace Connor of Columbia Elementary School as the Elementary Reading Educator of the Year. That certification certainly paid off, Miss Grace.
Those are two words joined together to create a new meaning. Ready for guessing? Let's begin.
Yay!
Riddle 1. Guess the word. It's a timer in the middle. What do you think it is?
Cheeseburger.
Spell it.
Cheeseburger, because it's cheese and it's a bun.
Cheeseburger. Word of the day today is for. F-O-R. Our sentence using the word of the day says, do you want eggs for breakfast? Do you want eggs for breakfast? Our directions for the word of the day is to write the word 5 times, use it in a neatly written complete sentence, and draw a detailed picture to go along with your sentence.
What makes Grace Connor an amazing teacher? Well, her name says it all. Miss Connor leads with style and grace in everything that she does. She is a true champion for children. Miss Connor's empathy and compassion for children speaks volumes. She is patient with her students. She loves putting them first in everything that she does. And she always allows families to feel like they have a voice and that they are being heard. I have had the privilege of working with Miss Connor in the leadership role for 6 years as a mentor. Miss Connor is an amazing educator, and no one deserves this more than she.
One of the things we pride ourselves on in St. Louis Public Schools is setting high expectations for our students. This next candidate does exactly that. Miss Emily Gentman, Dewey International Studies Elementary School, is our 2021 Elementary STEM Educator of the Year. Ms. Gentman sets high expectation. She pushes her students and makes sure that they can open doors of success for themselves.
It does look weird. Look at that. Now it's got really fizzy. Do you see the difference now what happened now that you put a whole bunch more in there? That there's a lot more carbonation at the surface and it's gotten really fizzy? And the color has changed too.
As a teacher, I make sure to know my students personally and where they are academically. To get to know where they are, I use frequent formative assessment to measure student growth. It allows me to keep up-to-date and accurate data that helps me plan and tailor my instruction in all areas.
What are we doing today? Bow? Oh, good. Good morning.
I greet every single one of my students every single day at the door. I think it's important to greet my students hello to ensure that they know that I'm excited they're there. Not only that, but I want to make sure that they know that they are loved the second that they are coming into my classroom, because my classroom is a second home.
Ms. Ginsman has an excellent relationship with her students, and her culture and her climate in her classroom are very positive. Ms. Ginsman builds engaging lessons that promote exploration and creativity, and Ms. Ginsman gives her all every day, and Ms. Ginsman's students love to come to school. Congratulations to Ms. Ginsman on becoming the STEM Teacher of the Year.
Ms. Gentleman has proudly said that if you ask any of her students, they would definitely tell you that science is their favorite subject. And if you watch her in action, I'm sure you would definitely agree with her. Ms. Gentleman, Unfortunately, when I was in school, science was not my favorite subject, but I'm sure if I had you as a teacher, I'd be saying the same thing. Year after year, for those of you who have been around with us for some time, you have seen me, right before I introduce this next category, talk about how it's one of my favorites. And I'm sure those of you who have watched me for years say, she says this every time this category about health, wellness, and PE comes up. But then on the same token, outside of this occasion, you hear me talk about how I've never lost those same 20 pounds I've been dragging around with me forever. But that still does not change the fact that I have learned some great skills, some great techniques. I have been able to participate in all kind of mob celebrations with the physical education program here at St. Louis Public Schools. And it is still, to this day, one of my favorite subjects. So this next individual clearly and surely was a great top winner in this category this year. Mr. Nikola Skokovic is our 2021 Health, Wellness, and PE Educator of the Year. One thing Mr. Skokovic talked about was how the relationships that he built with his students outside of the classroom is what helps him to have so much success within his classroom. Mr. Skokovic, we appreciate you for those relationships and for all the things you do to empower your students and their families on a daily basis. Congratulations again to you.
We would have practices, we would have parents come out, teachers come out, and everyone would just build a huge volleyball community, and our school grew around that program. Think of data-driven standards for PE, we think of push-ups, sit-ups, running tests, and other physical activity tests like that. For me, this gym has become a lot more than just a physical area for the students to learn. I have created this classroom space because I wanted the students to learn things they're doing in their classroom in here. So, for example, my kindergarten students working on their math skills, my third grade students just sitting down reading health books, and my fifth graders learning about Article 2 of the UDHR and how it relates to them. I was able to do all these things because of the relationships I built with the students outside of the classroom. They were willing to come in here, put the work in, and try their hardest.
So the thing that makes Nick an effective PE teacher in the classroom is the relationships that he's built with students outside of the classroom. Every day he's visible and mobile in the building. He knows every student by their first name, and every student knows him by his name. Because of the work that he's put in with the students, when you walk into his classroom, it's truly a fun place to go into, and kids are really having fun. I couldn't think of a better person. I'm excited that he won this award, and I couldn't think of a better person, and he truly deserves it.
Bethany Mask is our Specialty Area Educator of the Year. She is a gifted education teacher at Sticks Early Childhood Center.
At the beginning of the year, we worked together to create classroom norms. They are posted, discussed, and referred to often. We have meetings often to discuss items that are going well and some things we can grow on. We encourage bears' expectations to be followed. Be respectful, encourage others, accept differences, responsibility, and share with others. Ownership of student work is important. I have high expectations for my students academically. I believe each and every one of them can and will grow. I have found while teaching gifted, the students are at different levels depending on the subject area. This can be a large range. Because of this, I believe differentiated and individualized instruction is important. Early on, they conference with me to set reading goals and recognize what their strengths are and what they need to work on.
Ms. Mask is worthy of this award because she is a dedicated professional who learns about each of her children and develops professional relationships with her parents. As a gifted teacher, she encounters challenges that sometimes comes with the population of gifted students, and she makes sure that every student gets what they need. If it's additional help, if it's an additional challenge, she is an excellent teacher, and we are happy she's part of Stick's team. If someone were to visit Ms. Mask's classroom, they would see children engaged and using critical thinking skills and asking questions and really delving into the topic that they are researching at the time. They are always learning, asking questions, and she is always there to support them.
And you can see from that video why she was named our Specialty Area Educator of the Year. Ms. Mask, we applaud your passion to our students and what you do every day, as you said, to educate not just the child, but the whole child. We salute you. We would be remiss if we did not take time in the program to acknowledge two very special organizations who, without their support, financial support, and participation, this program would not be possible. Without further ado, we give special honor and thanks to the Parsons Blewett Memorial Fund and the St. Louis Public Schools Foundation. Thank you for your tireless energy and your ongoing support. Nicole Goodenough Hartchart from Nottingham CAJT High School is our 2021 Special Education Educator of the Year. When you saw Ms. Nicole interact with her students, she did not interact as if she was handling students who were less than. She had the same high expectations and rigor for her students as we all should for every child. She was given a lesson about heroes and heroines, and there's something that tells me that one day in the future, she may just become a part of that very lesson. Congratulations.
So there's a lot of things we learned about her. She was one of the first African-American women jazz singers. And she was very what? Scared, sensitive, or brave? Scared, sensitive, or brave? What do you call her? Scared, sensitive, or brave?
Brave.
She was very brave because when the Klansmen came by and they were mean on their horses, what did she do? Did she say, okay, take me? Would she say, or did she say, no, we're not going to do this?
It is a cuss now.
She said no.
Miss Goodenough is Special Education Teacher of the Year, and I can't think of another person that deserves that award. I can't think of anybody else. Ms. Goodenough makes sure that she's here daily, and she focuses on students learning, but she not only focuses on the academics, teaching daily living skills, independent living skills, math, ELA, she also makes sure that her students are prepared socially and emotionally for day-to-day learning at Nottingham. Any special events going on, Ms. Goodenough is always a part of it and probably leading most of them. Anytime possible, she takes that opportunity to build positive relationships between herself and colleagues, her students, parents, community partners. Ms. Goodenough is awesome, and we are so excited that she has been named Special Education Teacher of the Year.
This next category brought out the inner star in me. Most people who know me know I always have a song in my heart and sometimes a dance in my step. This next winner, Mr. Joshua Barbary, Nahed Chapman New American Academy, is this year's Visual and Performing Arts Educator of the Year. Mr. Barbary, you and your students certainly did not miss a beat.
Too fast. Wait! Don't go too fast. Keep the beat. Ready? 2, other hand. Ready? Tap, tap. Tiki, tiki, tap, tap. Tiki, 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 tap, tap, tap. Tap. Tiki, tiki, tap, tap. Tiki, 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 tap, tap. Hey! Hold hands. Down. 2, ready, go. Okay, ready? 1, 2, ready, go.
I'm so very proud of Mr. Barbary to be chosen as the Teacher of the Year in Fine Arts. He's an amazing person, but he also has such a keen sense of what students need and being able to relate to them in the area of music. He's really able to think outside of the box, and during the pandemic, he really made sure that kids were still connected to music. He even went to the homes and delivered ukuleles and bucket drums and all different sorts of things so they could still participate at home. And then he helped them to create a song. He used a current song, and he taught them sign language to that song. And the kids really got into it, really enjoyed it, and he created a memorable video for all of them. He's really had an opportunity to get the instruments in the hands of kids and really give them an amazing experience during the pandemic. He's invaluable as a music teacher and as a friend and a family member to our students.
Thomas Johnston from Gateway STEM High School is the 2021 Humanities Educator of the Year. I love the honesty of Mr. Johnston. He said that he used to look at his classroom as 315 North. But however, this pandemic and the way that we all had to pivot the way we learned and the way we taught him some new things about what it means to define a classroom, learning, and the space of learning. He learned so many things from his students, just as they learned so many things from him. That is why he is this year's Humanities Educator of the Year. Congratulations, Mr. Johnston.
Before the pandemic, we took field trips to learn about history and government. This year, we took a walk on the Great Wall and visited Independence Hall and Washington, D.C. by using the virtual field trip function in Nearpod. This allows students to virtually experience new places as each student uses their laptop to move the picture around to take in the panorama. Pictures really do speak 1,000 words, and I have found that images help ELLs to learn about history. Normally, we would examine photos and paintings in class. Now, we continue to do so virtually. Last summer, I started a podcast so that I could make listening assignments, and at the same time, this helped me learn a new tech skill.
Mr. Johnston is the most conscientious teacher that I have worked with in my entire career. When the pandemic started, he took the initiative to go out and learn how to be the best virtual teacher that he could be. While most teachers were scrambling to figure out what life would look like inside the classroom, he took the initiative to start figuring out what life would look like as a virtual teacher. And so he was Googling best practices, he was signing up for professional development, and he began figuring out how to teach himself to be a virtual teacher so that he could be an expert in teaching his students to be the best virtual learners that they could be. And that's just one example of how he continues to develop himself to continue to be one of the best teachers, not only in our building, but in our district. And we're incredibly proud to have him representing us in our district as one of many great teachers in St. Louis.
I love the way Kristen Dowling introduced her video. She said, "Welcome to room 120, the best place to work in the world where I get to learn every day from phenomenal young students." Well said, Ms. Dowling. And that is just a testament to why Ms. Dowling is this year's Secondary Science Educator of the Year. Ms. Dowling is representing Cornerhan High School of the Future as this year's category winner.
She crafts her lessons with the understanding that she is not the knowledge keeper, and instead, the knowledge and abilities are already inherent within our students.
When we talked about cancerous, non-cancerous things, you said that they're in the same region, they're about the same size, they're very organized. You actually right, Ms. Dallin, after I just thought about it some more. So I changed my mind because I was saying like this.
It's tricky.
Because that's not zoomed in for real.
Right. The way that it's going to work on the Nearpod, we're going to do a 10-question quiz. I'm putting quiz in quotation marks, but I want you to be able to see your number now, not so that you feel good or bad about it, but so that you know at the end if you've improved. So if you got like 3 out of 10 now, if you end up getting 7 out of 10, that's huge growth.
What was so evident was that she was really there for the kids and that she loved and respected the kids and wanted them to learn science, and they did.
So I've had the opportunity to work with
Ms. Dowling as an assistant principal and currently as a principal. She displays strong leadership abilities as a teacher and as a leader. This year, she recently was promoted to our science department chair, where she really brought innovative ideas, especially during this virtual learning platform. She really encourages her students. She challenges them, but she also makes sure they're enjoying themselves while learning. And one thing I definitely love about Ms. Dowling, and one of her strongest traits, is she's always willing to meet with leadership teams to give her expertise or to help improve the current systems that we're doing within the school. She not only served as science department chair, but she was also part of our Cornerhand Restore Task Force team when we started letting students back in person during the pandemic. So she serves on multiple teams, but this just shows her commitment to education and her belief in the students of SLPS. And it's just a privilege and an honor to serve as her principal during this award.
This next category I feel is very important because we know that sometimes success for our students is not necessarily going to happen at a 2 to 4 year university. We need individuals who are dedicated to helping our students reach their fullest potential, regardless if that means college, the workforce, or military. We're thankful for all of our individuals who work in the college and career readiness arena. But we want to salute our winner this year, Miss Teresa Leiden Larson. She is from Soldan International Studies High School, and she is the 2021 College and Career Readiness Educator of the Year. Thank you for all you do.
So today we're very fortunate to have 5 graduate students from Maryville University. They are all earning their master's degrees in occupational therapy. They all went to different undergraduate institutions, and today they're going to tell you a little bit about what occupational therapy is, what kind of jobs you can do with occupational therapy, and of course they'll have time for your questions and stuff. But they're also going to talk to you about what undergraduate is like and what grad school is, what you do there, and what opportunities it can provide for you. So I'm going to turn it over to Kate now and let you introduce your team and get started with our presentation. Thank you, guys.
Good evening. My name is Dr. Chen Tam Tran, principal at Soldan International Studies High School. It is a great honor for me to say a few words about Ms. Teresa Leiden Larson. She has been with us for 3 years, and in the past 3 years, she has been very efficient, always about students, very reliable, and have a great work ethic. So I believe that it is a very well-deserved award for her to be SLPS Counselor of the Year.
So now this next category is of our fantastic leaders. We know that all of these wonderful educators that you are seeing being represented here today have been led or being directed and facilitated in their learning by phenomenal leaders that we have here in St. Louis Public Schools. And now I get the privilege of introducing 3 dynamic educators who represent 3 phenomenal categories in this year's Educator of the Year program. This first category winner is just a little ball of energy. And it was really funny because when we were asking the individuals for their shirt sizes for one of the gifts that they received as winning this competition, I noticed that what she put down and what I put down was the same thing. So I called her and I said, Ms. Kaiser, it seems that you and I both wrote down the same shirt size. That means one of us is wrong. And she just chuckled. She says, no, I'm pretty sure both of us are right. And I just had to love it. This year, I am proud to announce as our Elementary School Leader of the Year, Julia Kaiser of Hagen Tech Academy. In Julia's video, she said to her students, I come to work every day because I want to see you and because I love you. I felt that was so sincere. And Ms. Kaiser, I feel like they come every day because they believe that's true. And they feel exactly the same about you. Congratulations.
It's Good to see you.
Hey, Miss Parham. Now that we've created the know and show and we have identified that making inferences is the most rigorous part of this lesson, how will you build scaffolds to support student learning?
Okay, so as you said, we know this is a difficult.
Do you love being a scholar at Hodgen?
Yes.
Why?
I love the school.
Julia exemplifies everything that you would want in a principal. She's strong, she's driven, she's generous. When you walk through the doors at Hodgen Tech Elementary, you know that you're cared about. She welcomes everyone with open arms and a big smile, sometimes a hug. Doesn't matter if you're a scholar, if you are a parent, if you are from the community, faculty and staff, we are all part of the same family at Hodgen. Julia has shown great leadership through the pandemic, making sure that the scholars still have ways to learn, being adaptable, and really understanding what needs are at the moment. She pushes every scholar to achieve the best of their abilities, to think differently, to think out of the box, to really be motivated, show initiative, and to reach for their wildest dreams. This is a great achievement, and I don't know of anyone who is more deserving of the honor of Elementary Principal of the Year than Julia. Congratulations.
This next winner really truly demonstrates what it means to be a supportive leader. Throughout her observations, you can see how she demonstrates how she supports her staff as they in turn support students. She has a huge task to ensure that there are 3 main areas of success for her high school students: attendance, graduation, and as we saw celebrated, college admission. Without further ado, I introduce Kelly Moore from Nahed Chapman New American Academy at Roosevelt as this year's Secondary School Leader of the Year.
They're very good. They're very good, except for one grade, okay? There's one grade that's a problem. So these are your progress report grades. Look at all those A's.
This is what he was telling me, that they will move to Illinois and he don't want to move to this school.
Oh. You guys are not at the 2 years yet. Your 2 years will be next December. So we have to wait for the test scores.
Or to work on some of the practice tests this summer. Yeah, I think she's going to do much better if she waits until next year.
So I feel that it's these kind of individualized meetings are.
Kelly Moore is leading in a unique academic context where all students are English language learners who are new to the country and new to learning English. Her drive to provide our secondary newcomers with opportunities and her collaboration with her teachers, other schools, district staff, and community partners lead to student success in both learning English and mastering academic content. Congratulations, Kelly.
Ms. Angela Durbin did something that I thought was very sincere as well. She celebrated in her video all of her parents, all of her students, all of the staff, and all of her fellow teachers. She applauded them and talked about what they do each day to make her better. Ms. Durbin, I can assure you that you are making them better as well. That is why you are the 2021 Supporting School Leader of the Year, representing Oak Hill Elementary School. We applaud you and thank you for all that you do.
It's very important that I work to ensure that teachers and students have everything they need to be successful in these times. Whether that means offering training sessions on best practices in virtual instruction or modeling, coaching, I want to be sure that our students are getting the same opportunities and access to learning that they would in a quote-unquote normal school year.
When we're thinking about this standard,
Each week, I meet with teachers in their grade level and content area teams to lead them through our data team process.
to include, especially in that
Through this process, teachers will submit their student work samples that are aligned to the standards that they're focusing on that week. They will do this prior to the meeting so that I can review and prepare resources that I can provide during our data team meeting. In addition to our weekly data team meetings, I have implemented a system for teachers to track student data on district and teacher-made assessments.
Mrs. Angela Durbin is an AIC extraordinaire. Not only is she committed to supporting teachers and best practices in instruction, she is committed to making sure that Oak Hill thrives as a school community. This past year during COVID, Ms. Durbin could be seen assisting at the mobile food mart, packing groceries for families, and coordinating our pop-up market for our families. That says it all. It takes more than just instruction when you are in an AIC position. You need to be part of the school community. You need to know the families, and that is Ms. Durbin. And that is why Ms. Durbin is so deserving of this honor to be SLPS's Support School Leader of the Year.
Each year, one of these already validated educators reigns as the district-wide Educator of the Year. We have already met this well-respected educator in an earlier category that we announced on this program, but I am proud to introduce her one more time as the 2021 district-wide Educator of the Year for St. Louis Public Schools. Again, let's give a round of applause for Ms. Kristen Dowling of Cornerhan High School of the future. Ms. Dowling will go on to represent St. Louis Public Schools in the state and regional competitions. Let's wish her well.
So it is my honor and privilege to recognize the 2020-21 St. Louis Public School District-Wide Educator of the Year, presented to Mrs. Kristen Dowling. It says May 12, 2021 because that's when the ceremony takes place, but I am honored and privileged to provide this to you. I am a former science teacher, so you are a teacher at my own heart, and you've done this through all of the challenges that we've had to deal with this year, so I am honored and privileged to present this plaque to you.
I just want to thank you all so much. These have been the most tremendous 4 years of my life working here at Carnahan with our students. I do this for them, and I'm so honored to have this honor, especially during such a difficult year where it's hard to know how well we're doing every day. So this is really meaningful. So thank you.
Now comes my least favorite portion of the program. It is a part of the program where I have fulfilled my responsibility of announcing all of these dynamic winners and the time that I get to say goodbye to you. It's also bittersweet because in my saying goodbye, I get to bring up another dynamic educator who, again, is behind the support of this wonderful program that we get to host each year. So without further ado, I introduce to you Dr. Alice Roach, the Administrative Director of the Parsons Blewett Memorial Fund.
Hello, virtual audience. Superintendent Adams, Dr. Letitia Smith, and her team, and a special greeting is extended to our 2021 Teachers of the Year. St. Louis Public School Teachers of the Year, we are extremely proud to recognize your achievements during this most trying time in the history of our school district. Parsons Blewett Memorial Fund joins with your individual schools, your families, your friends, and the entire St. Louis Public School District in congratulating you. We appreciate you and we honor you for your stewardship over our most valuable resources, our students and their families. The education of the youth in our region is the basis of freedom itself. You have shown that a true teacher does not begrudge his or her time or even their efforts, but under the most difficult circumstances imaginable, finds creative ways to encourage and challenge students, even while teaching remotely through a computer screen. It is our honor to present our gifts of appreciation to you, to each one of you. A special note of appreciation is extended to Kristen Dowling of Carnahan High School of the Future, the Teacher of the Year who will represent the St. Louis Public School District in the Missouri State competition. Ms. Dowling, please know that we are certainly rooting for you. We appreciate all of those partners who are joining together with us to salute the Teachers of the Year. Ameren, Adelaide Shafley Fund, Enterprise Holdings Foundation, Gertrude Foss Potoff, Grand Canyon University, St. Louis Community Credit Union, and the St. Louis Public School Foundation. Thank you for all that you have done to make this event possible. And so to everyone, stay safe, stay well, and stay healthy.